Hi, this is howtofilefordivorce.org, and we're going to file for divorce in the state of Virginia. So first thing you want to do is come to this webpage and we can go through this step-by-step guide. Step 1, 2 ways to download the required Virginia divorce papers. Now you can either A, download our blank Virginia divorce papers right here, where you can fill them out when we go through the next steps. Or you can do option B, which is have the divorce papers filled in on your behalf by a company that we work with, but they do charge a $299 professional service fee. So whichever way you choose, we can move on to the next step. The spouse that has decided to file for divorce must complete the following forms. So one of the spouses, I'm sure, is going to be in charge of filing, and they want to file these 3 forms, and if you have minor children, this 4th form. Now, you must file these forms. Make 4 copies of all of them with the county court clerk's office where you live, and if you want to find out what that filing fee is from the court clerk, you just click on this link right here. Step 4. You must alert your spouse of the divorce. You must serve a copy of the filed Virginia divorce papers as well as the acceptance of service form. This is a very important form because you're going to need it for step 5. You must get a completed copy of this form from your spouse and then file it with the clerk's office. So if you're going to have all the papers, you want to make sure that you give the answer form, and if you have children, this long name for a form, and if he or she has not been provided with it yet, so that your spouse may file it with the clerk's office. So basically your spouse is going to need to file this answer form and this long name for a form right here. After successful filing, the spouse must serve the petitioning spouse. So your spouse is going to serve you via mail these 2 forms that they filed with the clerk's office. Now it's very important that your spouse must complete the answer form stating the reason was for irreconcilable differences within 20 days of the petition's filing date, or the divorce cannot be considered no fault. So basically, your spouse has to fill out this form and file it with the clerk's office within 20 days of being served these papers, or else you have probably lost out on your filing fee. So you want to make sure that your spouse is willing and able to do this. So step 7, both spouses will need to complete the financial disclosure statement form before meeting with each other to negotiate. You both want to pick a time and place to meet. Then the both of you should fully negotiate the separation and property settlement agreement. Now, if you could just get through this last step of, just negotiating all the assets that you both have, as well as the debt, you're pretty much there. But you both are going to need to come to an agreement, and that's why they make you fill out this financial disclosure, because you both are basically going to come to the table with how much you owe, or how much you make, and if they have cars, who's going to get the cars, but it probably comes along with a loan on it. So everything will just get hammered out right here on this form. So once completed, you have to file that form with the clerk's office as well as both of these financial disclosure statements. Bring a blank notice of hearing form with you as well, and while at the clerk's office, schedule a court hearing date. And if it has been at least 20 days past the date of the original divorce petition filing, way up here in step 2, as long as it's been 20 days after this step, fill in the notice of hearing with the clerk so that a copy can be sent to your spouse. Now the notice of hearing is obviously going to have your court hearing date on it, and the clerk is going to send a copy of this to your spouse to let he or she know when your court hearing date is. Now you want to bring copies of all the filed forms to the court for your hearing date, and the judge will, if he or she has any questions, will ask you, but most likely they'll authorize the final order, which will make your divorce complete in the state of Virginia. So that's it. That's how you file for divorce in the state of Virginia.